Hello students, in this video I will teach you chapter number 2 from unit 2. The name of the chapter is Grain as Big as a Hen's Egg. I will read out the chapter line by line and explain it to you so that it is easier for you to understand. Let's begin with the chapter. One day some children found in a ravine a thing shaped like a grain of corn with a groove down the middle but as large as a hen's egg. So there were some children, and one day they found a grain that looked like this picture that you see, which is there beside the name of the chapter. So this grain was as big as a hen's egg. A traveler passing by saw the thing, bought it from the children for a penny, and taking it to the town, sold it to the king as a curiosity. So there was a traveler who saw that the kids have this grain. He took the grain and he paid them a penny. Penny is a small amount of money. And then he took it to the town and sold that grain to the king out of curiosity. Curiosity as in he was eager, he was excited to do it. The king called together his wise men and told them to find out what the thing was. The wise men pondered and could not make head or tail out of it. So the king had called the wise men. The wise men were the men who were educated, who had knowledge. So the king asked them to find out what this little grain is. The wise men had thought and they could not understand what this thing was. One day, when the thing was lying on a windowsill, a hen flew in and pecked at it till she made a hole in it. So one day this grain was kept on the window. A hen had come and put its beak in it continuously, and there was a hole in it. Then everyone saw that it was a grain of corn. The wise men went to the king and said, "It is a grain of corn." So it was basically a grain of corn. दाना था जिससे हम खाना उगाते हैं, जिसे हम सॉइल में डालते हैं ताकि हमारे ग्रेन्स उगे खाने के लिए. At this, the king was much surprised and he ordered the learned men to find out when and where such corn had grown. So, the king was surprised because he had never seen such big grain. So, he had ordered the wise men, the men who had knowledge, to find out where did such big grains grow and when did it happen. The learned men pondered again and searched in their books, but could not find anything about it. So they returned to the king and said, "We can give you no answer. There is nothing about it in our books. You will have to ask the peasants. Perhaps some of them may have heard from their fathers when and where grain grew to such a size." So the learned men had looked into their books and they could not find anything. They did not know which grain was this and where did it grow so big. So they said the king that it is not possible for them to give answers because they don't know anything. But they said that we should call the peasants and ask them so that maybe they know where and when it grows. So the king gave orders that some very old peasant should be brought before him. His servants found such a man and brought him to the king. Old and bent, ashy pale and toothless, he just managed with the help of 2 crutches to totter into the king's court. So the king gave an order that we should call an old peasant so that because he might have knowledge about this grain. So the servant had found a man who was a peasant. He was very old and he was pale and he was toothless. He did not have any teeth because he was very old. He was bent. He could not stand straight. You see, most of the old people are bent. They cannot stand straight. So with the help of 2 sticks, they are called crutches, old people cannot walk without support. So he was holding 2 crutches. You will see it in the picture. And he came into the king's court. The king showed him the grain, but the old man could hardly see it. He took it, however, and felt it with his hands. So the king had given him the grain, and the old man was very old. He could not see what the grain looked like, so he felt it with his hands. The king questioned him, "Can you tell us, old man, where such grain as this grew? Have you ever bought such corn or sown such in your fields?" So the king asks the old man if he has any idea about where such corns are grown, or has he ever grown it, or has he seen anybody else selling it or growing it in their fields. No, he answered at last. I never sowed or reaped any like it in my fields, nor did I ever buy any such. So the old man says that he has never grown or buyed any such grain. When we bought corn, the grains were always as small as they are now. But you might ask my father, he may have grown where such grain grew. So the old man says that whenever I bought grains or whenever I had grown them, they were always small and of the normal size. But you can ask my father, maybe he might have heard of such grains because he is more experienced than I am. So the king sent for the old man's father, and he was found and brought before the king. So the king had ordered his servant to find this particular peasant's father, and the servant had found him and had brought him before the king. He came walking with one crutch. The king showed him the grain, and the old peasant, who was still able to see, took a good look at it. So when the peasant's father had come, he had only one crutch. One crutch means one stick, for the support of walking, and he could see with his eyes. The king asked him, "Can you tell us, old man, where corn like this used to grow? Have you ever bought any like it or sown any in your fields?" So the king asks the same questions, if he has ever grown any such grain or has he ever buyed it from somebody. Though the old man was rather hard of hearing, he still heard better than his son had done. So the son could not hear properly, but his father could. The son had 2 crutches, but his father had only 1 crutch. "No," he said, "I never sowed nor reaped any grain like this in my fields. As for buying, I never bought any, for in my time money was not yet in use. Everyone grew his own corn, and when there was any need, we shared with one another. I do not know where corn like this grew." So the father says, "I have never buyed or grown such corns, and money was not used in my time. If anybody was in need of grains, we used to share it. Ours was larger and yielded more flour than present day grain, but I never saw any like this. I have, however, heard my father say that in his time the grain grew larger and yielded more flour than ours. You had better ask him." So the father says that when he had grown the grains were larger than the usual size, but it was not this big. So he said that he told the king to ask his father about the grains, because he said that his father told him that the grains were bigger that he grew and it produced more flour than usual. So the king sent for this old man's father. They found him too and brought him before the king. He entered walking easily and without crutches. His sight was clear, his hearing good, and he spoke distinctly. The king showed him the grain, and the old grandfather looked at it and turned it about in his hand. So now, first the peasant was called, then the peasant's father was called. Now father's father was called. Now the funny thing is, the peasant was old, he had 2 crutches, he could not see properly. The second one, he had 1 crutch, he could see normally. But the third person who entered, he did not look old, he did not have crutches, his sight was very nice, he could see everything properly, and he was clear, he could speak very nicely. So the king had given him the grain and he was looking at it. "It is long since I saw such a fine grain," said he, and he bit a piece off and tasted it. "It's the very same kind," he added. So the old man says that I have tasted this before and it looks similar. "Tell me, grandfather," said the king, "when and where was such corn grown? Have you ever bought any like it or sown any in your fields?" So the king again asks the same question to the third peasant as well. The old man replied, "Corn like this used to grow everywhere in my time. I lived on corn like this in my young days and fed others on it. It was grain like this that we used to sow, reap, and thresh." So the old man says that this was the type of grain that used to grow in my days. We used to eat this, and I used to give this grain to others also. We have always sowed and grown these types of grains only. The king asked, "Tell me, grandfather, you bought it from somewhere or grew it all yourself?" So the king was asking, "Have you grown these corns yourself or you used to buy it?" The old man smiled. "In my time," he answered, No one ever thought of such a sin as buying or selling bread. We knew nothing of money. Each man had corn enough of his own. So the old man says that in his time there was nothing called money. They never paid for anything. They had grown their own corn and everyone had enough of it. They were never short of corn. Then tell me, grandfather, asked the king, where was your field? Where did you grow corn like this? So the king asks the grandfather, where was his field and where did he grow such big corns? The grandfather answered, my field was God's earth. Wherever I plowed, there was my field. Land was free. It was a thing no man called his own. Labor was the only thing men called their own. So the grandfather says that nobody had a particular part or portion of the land. Everything was free. They were free to grow their grains anywhere they wanted. So it was the Mother Earth where they used to grow, and the only thing that men had called their own was hard work. Answer 2 more questions, said the king. So the king had last 2 questions and he wanted the oldest grandfather to answer them. The first is, why did the earth bear such grain then and how ceased to do so now? The second is, why does your grandson walk with 2 crutches, your son with 1 and you yourself with none? So the king asked 2 questions. The first question was, in the old days, such big corns were grown, but why has it stopped now? Why are the corns not as big as this one? And the second question was that you walk without crutches, your son walks with 1 crutch, and your grandson, he should be the youngest, but he's walking with 2 crutches. Your eyes are bright, your teeth sound, and your speech clear and pleasant to the ear. How have these things come about? So the king says, you are the oldest, yet you look like you are super young, because his eyes were bright, his teeth were all there, none of them were broken, and his speech was clear, which means when he talked, it was all clear and it was not difficult to understand. So now the king wanted to ask, he was surprised that how can such an old man be so young? The old man answered, these things are so because men have ceased to live by their own labor. They have taken to depending on the labor of others. In the olden times, men lived according to God's law. They had what was their own and coveted not what others had produced. So this means that earlier all the men used to do their own hard work. But in today's time, everybody wants to relax. Nobody wants to do the hard work. They only want to depend on others. But in the olden times, men used to believe in hard work. They thought if they work hard, God will help them. So they were always happy with their own hard work, with what they earned from their hard work. But in today's time, everybody wants what belongs to others. Nobody wants to do the hard work. But if something belongs to somebody else, they want it for themselves without working hard for it. So that's it about the chapter. I hope you have understood whatever I've tried to explain. Please read the chapter again. If there is anything you don't understand, you will ask me. I will clear your doubts. Soon, the question answers will be sent. You do it in your notebooks. That's it for today's video and the chapter. Thank you so much for your patience, all of you.